Hello, everyone. Hello, my loves. Good evening. My name is TiaraSharde. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. This is a check-in and Q&A. It's not really, formal or anything. Hey, come on in. Come on in. Welcome. Okay. I'm just going to take a moment, let people get in and, hang out and do the things that, they need to do, get comfy. Hey, Greg, how you doing? Welcome. How are you doing this evening? Just lighting some Palo Santo. Let's get the vibes going. Let's hang out. I don't have anything specific to really chat tonight about. I really just wanted to connect and see how you all were doing out there. How's your December 9th going? How's your Wednesday going? What came up for you this week that impacted you? Or this month, right? Because December is kind of a magical month. So what came up for you this month that stood out? Okay. The vibes. The vibes. I've been really feeling the need to center you all, like go within, go to the centered place, go into the womb space. Really is what it is, like that divine portal where, we can find nurturing and support and love, divine alchemy. We can really tap in there and gain clarity on our path. So, hey, Yvonne, how you doing, love? Yeah, so that's what's been coming up for me, going into that space to find some clarity and guidance at this time. Hey, Osumbo, peace. How you doing? Yeah, so this is just a check-in and Q&A. It's nothing formal, but I do want to see how you all are doing and check in, really. You can ask me some questions. Yeah. And what's been coming up for you this month or this year, right? What's been coming up for you this week, this month, this year that has stood out that you want to chat about? I do know there's this, like I was saying, this need for balance right now. It's a time of centering, especially with a lot of that Saturn energy, right? Like to the need to mature and to, show up and take a look at things that need a little adjustments and then move forward on the new path, because we're all embarking on a new path, as individual and it's collective. So there's a need to center and put your list together. Like, put together, a rough draft of a blueprint on the things that you want to create moving forward. I think that's the feeling that I'm getting on the planet and at this time. What about you? What are you feeling? This is a check-in and Q&A. What y'all got going on? They're like, but T, you always talk to us. You're always talking to us, so we don't really know how this works right now. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Well, not questions about me. Not questions about me. Questions about, things that are going on in your day-to-day and things that you're experiencing. And questions like that. About spirituality, things that may seem confusing. Because we are in an interesting time, you all. There's a lot happening. Like, there's a lot to shift through. And when I do tap into the collective and I, check in, I sense that. I also sense some amazingness. And, it's not just, she's so optimistic. Like, no, it's more than that, because I know what's happening on a soul level, on a spiritual level, on the collective, and within my own life, and many of your lives who reach out to me, and I think that now we have a real opportunity to move forward with the things that we want. Let's see. I created a manifest journal to put my desires and downloads. I've been reminded to reflect a lot. Yeah. I like that. I like the writing and the journaling of things and putting things down on paper, because that's beautiful. That's the magician. That's what we do. That's the creator. And speaking of the creator, I was just talking about this with a couple of sisters. It's the sacred mother energy that's on the planet that's very soothing and calming. It's the divine feminine energy. At the same time, we do have to honor the turbulence that may come with irritating the divine feminine energy, because it can show up, right? But I want us to, go into that sacred mother space. Do it within us, whether you have a womb or not. Just go into that space within and drop down into the body more to feel and to honor ourselves, and your desires. Honor our desires in that way. That's very feminine. That's really divine feminine and motherly. And that's a great way to pull that energy in, because it's here anyway. It's arrived. We just did the other video where we were talking about women just feeling this surge to dance and twerk and take, tantric classes and all of these things. It's just been this real influx of women. And it's because, the feminine energies are awakening on the planet. And it's a lot of energy to shift through at one time. It could be very overwhelming to someone who doesn't know how to navigate all of that. So, it can kind of navigate the lower energies for quite a while before it is able to ascend, which often is the case, but it's there, that awakening of the feminine, and it shows up in these dances and classes and courses for women. But I think it's a great thing, being able to move through it and to provide an outlet, because it's like, after, you did the twerking and you experienced that energy and you're able to express it and move all of that energy out because it needs to be released. After you've done that, now it's time to really hone in on that energy, because it's kind of like, you're letting a stallion out the range, right? You're just like, and the stallion is running, they're gone. All they know is that they want to release this energy. But then once the stallion realizes like, oh, okay, actually, now it's released. Now I'm centered in my energy. Now I can go towards self-mastery. Now I can consciously move towards ascension. So that's how I feel about it. Let's see, what are the comments? Yeah, communicating with the ancestors for sure. Really leaving the past behind. Yeah, I feel you there, Greg, because there is that energy present in our day-to-day, and it's all over the collective too. Like, everyone's ancestors and spirit guides and spirit teams are on deck. They're easily accessible. It's just the awareness that they're there, and the readiness to really honor that connection, to like consciously engage in that connection with our ancestors. So that, that's pretty dope that you're even getting that awareness that that's something that you could be doing. Yeah. Yes, dancing with no music type energy. Oh, dancing with no music type energy. That is beautiful, Yvonne. Like I really like that. Right? It's kind of like moving to the beat of your own drum too, like just experiencing the ecstasy of your divine self. Nobody got to be looking. You don't need no music. You don't need you don't need a red carpet outfit on. You're just going to express all that you are. You're going to embody the fullness of who you are. That's really dope. I resonate with that. Woo. Yes. And y'all, go on ahead and give me a thumbs up on the video. Go on and share it to your friends, your family, anyone who can vibe with the message, and maybe feeling like how you feel. This is not, yeah, we are on our unique individual journeys, but we're going through a collective process as well. This is a collective journey. So, share it to your platforms. Give a thumbs up. Thank you. Like, yeah, show that you with it. Because there's not many of us out here, and we are increasing in numbers. So I do want to add, if ever you come across something that resonates with you, show it some love if you can, if you're able to. And that helps, raise the vibration of that beautiful thing, Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I really love that. Yeah, y'all. Like many of our journeys are unique because we are unique. We're beautiful individually, and it's also collective. It's also really expansive on an individual level and expansive on a collective level, literally. And that's why I speak a lot about womb consciousness. And, it is a concept that men and women can understand. Well, obviously women, but men as well. You can understand womb consciousness on how everyone is kind of like experiencing the same thing. And with women specifically, right? Let's talk about that. With women, it's more so, right? Our periods can sync up, our cycles can sync up. It's anytime we have a conversation about an injustice done to another woman, we feel it. We're like, girl, like, wait, what? And they did what? And nobody came and said anything. Like, we feel it on that level. We connect to it on that level. So that is, you can understand it that way. You can understand womb consciousness from that example. And it's this one accord. Like, so it's this awareness between us, and it's a vibrational link up between us all, and we are experiencing the same things. And for men, you have mothers, you have mothers. So you can understand the dynamic of the woman in that way too, and tapping into that level of awareness. And if you could tap into that, then you could tap into the concept of the sacred mother, that sacred principle, and the goddess too, y'all. Like I really want people to understand the goddess energy. The goddess reverences the woman, yes, but also the divine nature, the universe. It's a very feminine energy. It's a very feminine energy, and it's not to, downplay the masculine, because the masculine energy is like amazing and it's of value, and it needs to be understood that the masculine has been reigning in such a way that has neglected the feminine. And oops, there we go. For that, it's created some topsy-turvy energy, the neglect of the feminine principle, the divine feminine principle. So, sorry, you all. It seems to be, there was a lot of wind earlier. There was a lot of wind, so it's just I think we're good. Okay. So yeah, there needs to be this level of understanding towards the divine feminine energy. Yep. And go into that sacred space of being the mother. That's the best way to kind of conceptualize it. Like, be your own mother. And then if you can be your own mother and pour that nurturing and love and understanding into self, then you'd be able to understand the divine feminine principles and energy. You can get a grasp of it and honor it in a way where you can help, even the tides a little bit, because things get a little drastic on the planet. Things have been kind of topsy-turvy on the planet. So let's see. Hello, is there a list? May I ask a question? There's not really a list. You can ask a question or leave a comment, just anything that you may be experiencing, anything that may come up. We'll be on here for a few minutes more. Yeah, you all. And, I do want to emphasize right now the need to study for spiritual study. Spiritual school. Somebody said psychic school and, goddess school. Getting into the feminine principle more. Definitely reading books that ignite that feminine energy. What she rules, right? Because she rules the senses and the sensuality and the intuition. She rules that. Yeah, it's happening. It's happening on the planet right now. This integration. So just like the masculine energy needs to understand the feminine also needs to understand the masculine. It's this beautiful dance that the energies have with each other. And it is coming together the more people open up to it and speak about it and talk about it. Like you all know, like I have the Embodying the Goddess program. So it's 3 months of goddess spirituality, divine feminine principles, and 6 like concrete steps. So you're not just like grasping at straws and just trying to figure it out on your own. It gives you the tools, because it's really something that changed my life. Learning about the divine feminine energies and many of the principles that we were meant to learn and understand when we first arrive here. We're meant to understand this. We were never meant to neglect the goddess and, the mother, the feminine principle, right? But there was this imbalance and this injustice between the masculine and the feminine. And there was a lot of power on the feminine, but the masculine didn't quite understand his own worth and value, and it became something like that. It became me thinking I'm inferior to this energy instead of understanding that we can build a partnership. So and that's why I teach it. There's a need for women specifically. I work with men as well, but with women specifically, the Embodying the Goddess program helps tap into the feminine principle. Tap into the womb space, the techniques, the rituals, the things that we should have learned in school. It's a literal academy. The Embodying the Goddess program is a literal school, no lie. Like go ahead and get your degree. Like it's a real deal spiritual system for women to learn the things that we were meant to learn. And I highly encourage the men to just do your research on it, because you're meant to integrate some of that energy as well, just like women are meant to integrate the masculine energies within us. So I think, again, that would also help with the balance. Any book recommendations for understanding the feminine and understanding women? I recommend Pussy Prayers by Black Girl Bliss. Shout outs to the Goddess Book Club. Shout outs to us. And also I recommend Womb Wisdom. I forget the author's name at this time. But you could get that, those books anywhere, Amazon, whatever it is. That's a great question. What books do you recommend? But yeah. So what's up, Jillian? Did you want to ask your question? Get some water. And then we're gonna hang out, head out. Hey. Yeah. As you can see, I'm pretty passionate about those subjects. I'm really passionate about these subjects because I've been in a place of not understanding them and going through like a lot, going through a lot of unnecessary levels. And I understood where I am now. And it's like, oh, if I had learned this stuff like back then, whoa. And it made me relate to other women as well. Like if we had learned these tools on what we're really meant to do and our true purpose, if we learned that, it would be a completely different ballgame. And it wouldn't make us, extra arrogant and egocentric or anything like that. It would really just help bring a more harmonious world, which I feel we all can agree is something we need right now. I think it's safe to say we're all in one accord on that. So yeah, embodying the goddess within, healing womb consciousness, beauty and luxury, altars and rituals, sacred sexuality, and sex magic and manifestation. And that encompasses everything you need to know about your spiritual path, as well as this physical 3D path and how you're meant to operate those things. And it covers all the levels of a woman's life, from the inner to the outer. And because she's in alignment, right? Think of your mother, like how you would have wanted your mother to show up for you. Because she's in alignment with that mother and the divine feminine principle, then that changes the world. It changes the children that are here. It changes the relationships that are introduced or jump started. It relates to income and stability. That's a big thing. The divine feminine energy isn't worried about stability and isn't struggling in that way. She knows how to navigate her lane pretty well. But when she knows those principles, that's when it could be navigated. Yes. So if that is all the questions and everything like that, the links to contact me, you all are in the description box. You can find out more about the Embodying the Goddess program. We're actually enrolling January 11th. I'm super excited. And you have free clarity calls with me until December 14th. So make sure you get in on that. That link is in the description box as well. My Instagram, TiaraSharde. And we also have the Divinity of Sex Event this Saturday, December 12th. Replays are included in that. So the link to that is also in the description box. You all make sure you come. The Divinity of Sex Event is going to go deep into what we should have learned coming into this place. So yeah. A lot of it was downloads, Black American and African spirituality and deities. A lot of it was downloads that led me to pursue further information, like especially like dreams, like dream initiations and activations. And then it would lead me to research and actually like pick up the book that can kind of say this, or find the practitioner that knows. So I highly recommend, everyone doing your research and getting a mentor, getting a coach who knows. So it just cuts out a lot of the guesswork, really is what it does. But that's how I came across the deities. And also when I was in Costa Rica, there was a huge statue of goddess Yemia. And it kind of like threw me for a loop. Like I was riding my bicycle and I just passed it. And then I was like, whoa, what was that? And I like turned around on the bike and it was a huge like rendering of her. Beautiful sculpture. I actually posted it to my Instagram. The link to my Instagram again is in the description. And yeah, it was a beautiful experience. That was one of the first, but yes, definitely the most impactful experience with a deity that I've ever had. So that experience is really what led to me going down that lane of study of goddess spirituality and the divine feminine principles. Like when I really dived into it was in 2017. Yeah, that's when I got that initiation, and that's when I was like, whoa. And I explored it within myself. So that's the thing, you all. It's not just study, it's not just reading a book, it's an actual experience that you live through and that you put together. So that's what I was cultivating the whole time. I was a part of the experiment, and then I came up with the Embody the Goddess program. It's amazing that we're talking about this stuff, but yeah, that's how I came up with the program. From that introduction to that huge, like it was like huge. It was like as tall as a house. Statue of her, Goddess Yemia. So, and then I went through the steps. I followed my intuition, and I followed like the lessons and the downloads that I was being given, and it helped me transform my life. Like I can't even. And I often share with you my journey. Like if you look back on my videos, I often share my story with you all. But yeah, it completely transformed my life. No way. Like, yeah. So all of those downloads and those clues and those tips and tricks, all of that is in the program. It's all in there. So you could just bypass all the heavy lifting and you got the codes. All you got to do is do the work and apply the information, and it will change your whole entire life. It'll like completely transform your DNA. It completely rewire it. That's amazing. Appreciate you, T. Yes. Thank you. Appreciate you as well. Yeah, it'll change lives. So, and I highly encourage the men who are called and you feel the pull, I encourage you all to come up with your program and your tips and tricks that really helped you get through something, that really helped you come to just a good place, or you find a mentor or a coach that can get you there, or that has a program that you can enroll in and just fast track you to it. Like, why struggle? You know, we're not, we struggled before because we didn't have access to the things that can support our soul's purpose. Like, we didn't know that things like this were out there. But now that we're moving into the divine feminine time and understanding that energy, now we're opening and allowing our consciousness to expand. And you can enroll in the things like tantra and yoga and sacred sexuality and, you know, dream interpretation and, you know, tarot readings. You can get into all those things, and everybody's trying to understand it. And it's a beautiful thing that's happening. Working on it. I'll say I can't wait. Yeah, yes. So I'm so happy to spend time with you all this evening. I really hope that you dive into your spiritual path. Let me know if you need me. I am available. My contact information is below. And again, January 11th, Embodying the Goddess program. That's when we start 3 months of goddess spirituality and the divine feminine principle, so you can live the life of a goddess. Yes, that's what we're doing. That's what it is. And we're balancing our masculine energy and our feminine energy and knowing how to navigate it, how it should have been when we arrived. But because you're in this place right now, you're meant to lead the way. So let's go, sis. And I love y'all all. Have a beautiful evening. Peace and love. Mwah. Good night.